Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I, Toastmaster Amit, warmly welcome you 804th meeting of South Delhi Toastmaster Club. First, let's start the Toastmaster International mission. At Toastmaster, we provide positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, results in greater self-confidence and personal growth. There are few ground rules for the meeting. Please adhere with rules. Number 1, please take 10 seconds to put your mobile phone on silent mode. Number 2, at Toastmaster, we do not speak about sex, politics, and religion. Hence, it is recommended that please do not speak about these topics in an offensive manner. And very important, please keep your camera switch on and your mic mute. You have to unmute your mic once your chance to speak. Keep a pen and paper handy to note down the learning from the meeting. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to our enthusiastic, energetic, vibrant leader, president of our club, Toastmaster Nimit Pradhan. Over to you, Toastmaster Nimit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amit. Thank you so much. A very good evening to all members here and guests. I welcome you warmly to the 804th meeting of South Delhi Toastmasters Club. So thank you all for actually coming and attending today's meeting. I am very pleased to see quite a few guests today. So let me ask this question. How many of the guests are actually attending a Toastmaster meeting for the very first time? You can just raise your hand. Perfect. I see a few people for the very first time. Great. So let me start with this, okay? For everybody who's new or still confused how we operate, Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization where you actually learn public speaking skills and leadership skills. The best part is, how does the whole concept work? Every time I'm asked this question, and people's answers are very strange. Sometimes people think it's a coaching system. Sometimes people think it's a school classroom system. But let me tell you that where we have actually no teachers and professors here. The way this works is very simple. We have a structure to our meetings. Every structure requires certain role players. Each of us in this meeting have some roles to play, and each of us prepare to the best of our capabilities for these roles. In the 2 hours meeting, we all deliver our best performances. Keep doing the same thing 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And after a few weeks and months, you will automatically see that your public speaking skills and leadership skills go up. This is simply the secret of success at Toastmasters. While let me tell all the guests that you will witness how the meeting operates, and if you have any questions after this, you are free to get in touch with our VP membership, Toastmaster Arushi, myself, or anybody in the club. Let's proceed forward now. And I also see a very special guest, a part of today's meeting, Toastmaster Arshin. I welcome you warmly to South Delhi Toastmasters Club. And for everybody else, Toastmaster Arshin is our guest speaker who will deliver a module on how you can actually win the next week's table topic contest at a club. She's a veteran and an accomplished speaker, while I will let her introduction be given towards the end in a more special way. But Toastmaster Arshin, thank you so much for joining us. We really look forward to your session. Let me, since I have some time, let me actually pick up a couple of individuals and ask them, a few questions I have in mind. Toastmaster Abu, for everybody, let me say this, that he is a very experienced veteran member once again, and he is somebody who's won contests for us. He's won table topic contests and represented our club at area level and even beyond. Toastmaster Abu, if you could please answer in crisp words the importance of competition to you and to the club.
Thank you so much, Nimit. So the importance of competition is, when we start working, we miss those butterflies that we used to have during school days and college days. So when I participated in the first competition, I got my butterflies back. It was not my butterflies, but I felt I got my soul or my life back. So that's the joy of participation.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abu. I will pick one more individual, Toastmaster Arushi Kapoor. If I would also ask you a question, well, for everybody else, Toastmaster Arushi has recently won evaluation speech contest of South Delhi Toastmasters Club, where she stood first, and she will now be proceeding to the next stage to represent at area level, and I hope it goes beyond and beyond. Toastmaster Arushi, if I may ask you a question for the benefit of everyone, what is the whole fun? You know, I know you worked hard for the contest, you secured first position, and now you are going, to the next level. The importance of preparation, the importance of winning, and how does that play on a bigger picture in your life?
Right. So I think again, Amit, it boils down to your first speech to where you've come today. So everybody, like since I'm the VP membership of the club, I get this question every time. How long do you think it will take us to improve our communication skills or public speaking skills? And I tell them that it's a journey. I can't give you a 1 month or a 2 month ultimatum and time period. So with every speech, with every preparation, with every role that you take in a Toastmasters meeting, be it a role of an auxiliary role player, the host, the speaker, or the evaluator, any role you take up, you come and speak in front of 30 people, you improve yourself with every meeting and every participation that you do. So I will just say to people that make that effort. You're attending a meeting. The best thing you can do, aap attend kar hi rahe ho for 2 hours. Might as well take a role and participate. It will only add. There's nothing that will subtract out of that. So that's my only suggestion to the entire group.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arushi. Well, for everyone, we all know that competition is something we actually face in our lives. And, let me also say this, competition can actually do real good for you. You can actually improve yourself and it can be very fun. And this is what our club is all about. This is what Toastmasters is all about. We just hosted a contest a month back, and next week is again table topics contest. So all members of this club, please make sure you are prepared, and also make sure that the latter part of today's meeting, where we have our guest speaker, Toastmaster Arshin, deliver a module on the intricacies of table topics, make sure to attend, to make note of everything she says and give in your best for next week. Right. With that, I would like to proceed to the next part of the meeting, and it is time that I now invite the anchor of the show. Now, the anchor of the show is again a very a special friend, somebody with whom I share a great bond. And I looked up for some adjectives actually on Google, because it's tough to describe him if you just go with your mind. So this is what my dictionary got me, right? And let me say this aloud. He is an enigmatic person. And when I say this, believe me, he is vivacious and exuberant. He will never be without energy. If you look at him, you might just looking at him may give you energy, right? So, that's the kind of person he is. Man with the golden words. I mean, if you actually listen to him, if you've been following him, you will see that he's a corporate trainer, and even his words at this Toastmaster club is something that sets him apart from everybody. And he is, as always, energetic and charming. With that, I welcome Toastmaster Abu Shadab for each one of you. Toastmaster Abu, please.
Thank you so much, Nimit. That was very kind of you. And thank you so much, people. Let's kickstart the entire process. I have got a very interesting topic. And for my topic, the credit goes to Arushi Kapoor, wherein I was wondering as to what should be the theme. I wanted the theme to be something that is, I personally wanted it to be scary. But when I asked Arushi as to would she like to recommend some theme, she gave me a theme that was Sunday Shenanigans. So the first thing that I did was I searched for the meaning of the word, because it looks very embarrassing. So I searched for the meaning, and I realized that shenanigans is not a positive word for most of the people. It's like, playing tricks or something as such. And Sunday shenanigans. So Sunday not being the best of the Sundays, or some evil or some funny types. So I asked her for her clarification, and she told me that, well, we all have our ways to spend Sunday. So why don't you talk about it? I said, wow, that's great. So let's go ahead and talk about what is Sunday shenanigans. Let me start with a story. And the story starts when I was a kid. I remember on Sundays, we used to wake up early. For all those 90s kids, we used to start with something which is called Rangoli. And then we used to have, I'm not sure about the sequence, it was Chandrakanta, and then Mowgli. And by this time, it was time for a Shams's breakfast. After that amazing breakfast, it was time for cricket. So cricket used to go on till the time we used to hear our mom shouting once again, it's time for lunch. And Sunday lunch is the thing. It has to be awesome because it's Sunday lunch. Once again out, this time we are not playing cricket, we are playing something else. So we play and it's time, it's evening time, and I'm sure we all have been raised with that culture that after sunset you have to come back. You can't play for some reason. And when you are from Darjeeling, it's time for Darjeeling tea and some local bakery products. After that, you have to do some homework, and Darjeeling, in a day, it has got multiple weathers, and generally it rains at night. Most of the roofs at that point in time, they were all tin roofs. And when it rains heavily, you can listen to the sound, which is like a lullaby. And when you go off to sleep, you will feel, wow, Sunday, super awesome. Now, fast forward today. Now, before I go ahead and talk about today, may I request Toastmaster Amit Kumar to launch a poll. So Toastmaster Amit Kumar is going to launch a poll. I'll feel very honored if you can all participate. It will just take 10 seconds. Toastmaster Amit Kumar, the man who always wears multiple hats. Amit, you are on mute.
So, but poll I have to launch. Sorry, I missed.
That poll that we were supposed to launch. Okay, no worries. If you don't have the poll, I can do it verbally as well. The poll questions are very simple. My question was, how many of you on your Sunday spend in such a way that you feel relaxed, you are able to reflect, and you are able to restart? Relax, reflect, and restart. You have got 4 options. Option 1, yes. Option 2, no. Option 3, kya pata. Option 4, kabhi kabhi. 4 options, yes, no, kya pata, kabhi kabhi. Wow. Ritika, kabhi kabhi, yes. Yes. Yes, kabhi kabhi, maybe. From kabhi kabhi, maybe, kabhi kabhi. Okay, wow. That's a lot of response. Thank you so much for that many response. Now, people, what I have realized is I generally work all the 5 days. Weekday, we all have to work. I have to pay my bill. Saturday and Sunday, I realized I was working more than my weekdays. Primarily, it was going towards my side hustle, Toastmasters, leaders and readers. So 7 days, it was back-to-back work. Couple of months ago, my sister, she told me, you have to take a day off. It does not work that way. And that was the time for me to ensure that my Sunday becomes something that is relaxed. I have to reflect and I have to restart. Throughout the meeting, I'm going to talk more about it. But today, let me also go ahead and talk about how the meeting is divided. We have got 3 important sections. So first, we'll have prepared speeches, and then we will jump to evaluation. After that, we have got this amazing, beautiful lady, Asheen Kaur, who has been very kind enough, and she will go ahead and share some master tips when it comes to table topics. Okay, now it's time for me to introduce you all to this lady whom I greatly admire, inspire. I don't have words. What should I talk to her? It is no other than Arushi Kapoor, and she's the general evaluator. Arushi, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, Abu. And I'm really excited for today's topic, Sunday mischief or Sunday shenanigans, as we've stated it. So a very good evening to all present in the meeting, fellow Toastmasters of the South Delhi Toastmasters Club and guests. So Sunday shenanigans, though, Sundays can be forgiving because we can take it very easy and, we can do whatever we want. There are no deadlines, there are no routines. It's very flexible what we can achieve or do on a Sunday. However, Sunday ho ya Monday, you still need to follow traffic rules, right? Similarly, we have to maintain the sanctity of a Toastmasters meeting. So I am the general evaluator, and I will make sure that I have my binoculars and hawk eye to see and monitor the entire meeting and make sure that the meeting is conducted to the T. And towards the end of the meeting, I'm going to suggest my report on where we did excellent and a few areas where I think we can still improve the meetings for and take that suggestion to our upcoming meetings, right? So again, this job is very heavy and I can't take all of it on my shoulders. So I have a team of role players who would be helping me ensuring that today's meeting runs successfully. So with that, I would like to call our first role player who is the timer for today's meeting. Please help me welcome the most veteran Toastmaster of our club, Toastmaster Aditya. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. So, good evening, all the speakers. As Abu said, we have three sections today, out of which we have the speech section and the evaluation section, which means this is how the meeting will go. The prepared speeches section, there are two speeches, that is 5 to 7 minutes each, and there is 30 seconds grace period on both sides, that is 4 minutes 30 seconds to 7 minutes 30 seconds. Less than 4 minutes 30 seconds and more than 7 minutes 30 seconds, speakers are disqualified from voting. So at 5, I will show the green card. You have been seeing the cards, you will understand by now. At 6, the yellow card, and at 7, the red card. And once the speaker finishes, there will be 30 seconds of evaluation, which means you can send a private chat or a public chat to the speaker. You will be given 30 seconds for that. Moving on, the joke master will have 2 minutes, who will be called by the TMOD shortly. At 2 minutes, I will show the red card. The evaluation, that includes a speech and supplementary evaluators. For the evaluation section, the time is 2 to 3 minutes. Once again, 30 seconds grace period on both sides, that is 1 minute 30 seconds till 3 minutes 30 seconds. Once again, 2 green, 2.5 yellow, and 3 red. Less than 1 minute 30 seconds and more than 3 minutes 30 seconds, the evaluators are disqualified from voting. The evaluation, the GE report, is 5 to 7 minutes. Once again, 30 seconds grace period. The same rules as a speaker: 5 green, 6 yellow, 7 red. Less than 4:30, more than 7:30, the GE is DQ from voting. The TMOD also has a conclusion, that is 1 to 2 minutes. Once again, 30 seconds on both sides. 1 green, 1.5 yellow, and 2 red. And the TMOD opening and the conclusion will be timed independently, and that ends my intro. When the GE will call, I will give the timer report, and in between, after each section, there will be voting. There are 2 sections. So when the respective anchor asks, I will let you know if that particular evaluator or speaker is disqualified for voting or not. Back to the GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. That was very descriptive and visually appealing. Now, I will move on to our next role player for today's meeting, which is the R counter, Toastmaster Sandra. She is, of course, the youngest member of our club, but apart from that, she's also the most consistent member of our club. She comes on each week, every week, and participates. So kudos for that, and I'll give the stage to our counter, Toastmaster Sandra.
So, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. I am the counter for today's meeting. So, there are some crutch words like you like, no, and so, and repeated pauses and short pauses. So I would be noting down the crutch words and the short pauses, and I will be reporting when called by the GE. Over to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you for explaining your role, Sandra. Now, moving on, something which I really look forward to is the idiom and the word of the day. And today we have Toastmaster Pandi, who is our grammarian, and he would be introducing us to his role as well as the word and idiom of the day. So I welcome you to the virtual stage, Toastmaster Pandi. All yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arusi. Speech is the index of your mind. The word you spoken can break or make your conversation. So today you have Toastmaster Pandi, me as a grammarian. I will focus the grammatical point of view, how your speeches are structured, and I will present during the evaluation session my report. The word of the day is exhilarating. It means causing a strong feeling for happy, excitement, and elation. The idiom is birds of a feather flocks together. Thank you, and I hand it over to Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pandi. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to our TMOD, Toastmaster Abu Shadab.
Thank you so much. I'm sure we all are exhilarated the way General Evaluator Arushi has gone ahead and introduced her entire team. And now it's time for us to listen to something that will bring a smile on everybody's face. It is said that, one of the best ways to be confident is to have a smile. And one of the best ways to have a smile is to listen to a joke. Today, we have an amazing joke master. He's advocate by profession. He's Toastmaster Azad Singh. So if you do not smile or laugh at his joke, it is at your own risk. I welcome Toastmaster Azad with his joke. Toastmaster Azad, the virtual stage is all yours, buddy.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. And you are absolutely right. I will sue if no one laughs at my jokes. So, Abu Bhai, you know that I have lost 10 kgs of weight since our physical meeting. Actually, that is a joke to start with. So recently I went to a doctor, physiotherapist, and I literally showed her that, ma'am, I am having pain when I touch hair like this. And you know what is the best advice she could have given me? She said, don't touch it then. Okay, and recently I was introspecting that I asked God that how long is a million year? And God said to me that for me, it is a minute. Okay, I got excited and I asked another question that then how much $1 million? And God said, to me, it's a penny. And I thought, it's my chance. And I said, God, may I have that penny, please? And God said, wait for a minute. So before I hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, all I want to say is that whatever you do, always give your 100%. But remember, you are not donating blood. So back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Azad. I will be visiting a physiotherapist after this meeting. And I know if she's going to tell me not to touch there, then it's not going to be nice. Thank you so much, Azad. That was very nice. Thank you so much for that. Now we kickstart our prepared speeches, something that people have been preparing for such a long time. Our first speaker is a very amazing person. He's Utkarsh. He's one of the latest entry to our club. And we all have seen his commitment via whatever role he picks. We have the evaluator. The joke master has changed his hat and he has now become the evaluator. The evaluator is Azad. So before I go ahead and call Utkarsh, may I request Azad to come and share his speech objectives?
Yes, I am back again, and I'm glad that you heard my jokes. Now is the time for a person who I really observed to present any report with, report innovatively. So his project name is Innovative Planning, Level 1, Project 2. And the purpose of the project is for the member to identify his primary leadership style or styles, and the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in journal. Back to TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Azad. Toastmaster Utkarsh, are you there?
Yes.
Great, great. Toastmaster Utkarsh, a quick question before we go ahead with your speech. What is that one thing that you want to do on a Sunday that will make you feel, ooh la la, this is a Sunday?
I would like to, okay. So probably the best time that I can think of is spending time with my girlfriend. I think that's the best time I'll ever.
I wish you all the best, Utkarsh.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing that. Utkarsh, speech title is Macrosome of Assurance. Microsome of Assurance, Toastmaster Utkarsh. Toastmaster Utkarsh, we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. You are doing a wonderful job. So, as Charles Fort once said, when we have the assurance that a mystery has been solved, we tend to investigate it further. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My title of the speech is Macrocosm of Assurance. Before starting my speech, I would like to ask each and every member, the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear assurance, audits, statutory audit, tax audit, compliance audit, government audits, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Anybody can unmute and speak.
Chartered accountant.
Confirmation to the stand requirement. Confirmation to the requirement.
Chartered accountant.
Chartered accountant. Mayank Khatri, Arushi Kapoor.
Mayank Khatri, Arushi Kapoor, certified public accountant, chartered accountants, assurance, giving assurance in the financial statements. As most of you others who have not answered, you must be thinking it is boring, it is tedious, monotonous. We have to comply with the government laws. Well, let me take you through the world of audit and the macrocosm of the audit, the quirks of the audit, and the interesting aspects that public does not see. Before starting, I would like to add that I never thought that I would become a chartered accountant. I never thought that I would, when I'll grow up, I would become an auditor. I will be working in the line of assurance. I would have never done that. So starting, I would like to say that the assurance is giving comfort on the information that is given by the entity to the public. It includes financial reporting, quality assurance, internal controls. But I would not dull you with all of these technical jargons. I would come straight to the importance and the interesting points of the assurance. So, has anybody seen the union budgets that are presented every year? Have anybody ever read them? A yes or no would also be fine.
No, Utkarsh.
No, Abu is saying that no, he has never read the union budget. That is a concerning point.
Hazard.
Occupational hazard. Arushi has read the occupational hazard. Anybody else who has read the union budget?
Yes, same occupational hazard.
Great. So I would like to tell you all the union budgets, all the figures that are released from the Ministry of Finance, they are all audited by a chartered accountant. Each and every person, each and every figure that is released by the Ministry of Finance have been checked for accuracy, and a lot of extensive procedures have been performed on them. I would also like to state that and to keep the pot boiling, I would also ask, has anybody heard of the Enron case, the Satyam scandal, and the 2017 Oscars? Can anybody explain what happened in the 2017 Oscars, just to keep it very interesting? Okay, so the silence speaks that nobody is aware of that. So in 2017, you must have heard that the best film was given, the name card for the best film was given wrong. In the history of the Oscars, it has never been done that. And why I'm saying this, because the auditors were involved in that, and it was the responsibility of the auditors to make sure that the name cards are going right. That is the, you would never have thought about it that somebody must be checking on it, but that is the importance of auditing and assurance and the underground world of assurance. We never know it, but it exists and it brings comfort and it provides assurance to each and everybody. We auditors are like night watchers. They make sure that the train run on time. They are always silent, but they are fundamental to the growth and building of an economy. They are important part of each and every decision making and each and every decision that has been taken and affects each and every one of you and your lives that you're not aware of. But don't get me wrong, I never knew all of these things. 5 years back when I joined my firm, I didn't know even the first word of audit. I remember the first day of my job, I had these hard copy invoices and I was punching on the Excel sheet. I never knew that audit was like this. The assurance was like this. I used to think to myself, what I have got into, the overwhelming audit environment, the office politics, the managers speaking to the directors. I never knew how the office works. And as everybody knows, time is a great healer and time prepares and helps us learn new things. That's what happened to me. And as time, I got to know about things and I'm still learning. So in conclusion, I didn't know I didn't know the professional ways of the firm. My senior, who was once with me in college, I used to call him Bhaiya. And till today, every friend of me still teases me on this, that I used to call my senior Bhaiya, which nobody does that. So in conclusion, I would like to say that everybody, each and every one of us should self-audit ourselves, should have self-assurance within themselves, should be professional skeptic, should ask questions just like an auditor does. Never rely on the face of it. Don't judge a book by its cover, go deep into it, and all the very best to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wasn't that an exhilarating speech? First and foremost, since the time I've joined Toastmasters, I've seen so many chartered accountants joining Toastmasters. Preeti has a smile. I have this gut feeling that even she is a Toastmaster. Great.
Chartered accountant.
Wow, which means birds of the same feathers flock together. Awesome. Thank you so much. People, it is very important. This auditor requires you to audit his speech, because this auditor will take himself and the entire nation to the next level. The best thing to do is give him a candid feedback, and you have got 30 seconds for it. Give him a candid feedback so that he can up and improve his game. My personal takeaway from his speech will be that 2017 Oscars, wherein they forgot, there was this mistake, and it also reminds me of this Miss World announcement, which was done in an error, wherein it was, I suppose, they had given it to somebody, and it was Miss Philippines, who was supposed to be the Miss World. That was also a glaring error that was there. Thank you so much, Utkarsh. You have definitely upped your game. So if this was an auditor, who can compete with an auditor? That's an interesting question. Well, I would not use the word compete. The next person comes from a field that we all look up to. She comes from the background of defense. I get personally inspired because every Saturday or Sunday, if you want to find Megha, Saturday or Sunday, or generally Sunday, you have to go for a run or a cycling, and she will be there. That's Megha. Okay. Before I go ahead and invite this amazing, mind-boggling speaker to go ahead and rock the stage, I would go ahead and request the president of the Color Club, that is Toastmaster Nimit Pradhan, to share her speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Nimit Pradhan.
Thank you, TMOD. The speaker today will deliver from Pathways Team Collaboration, Level 1, Project 3. The purpose statement is as follows. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. I wish the speaker all the very best. Thank you. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nimit. Before Toastmaster Megha goes ahead and gives an exhilarating speech, I would like to ask Toastmaster Megha. She does so many amazing things on a Sunday. What is that one ingredient that you can add to your Sunday, Megha, and it will be a Sunday to remember for you?
Yeah, thank you, TMOD, Toastmaster Abu. So Sunday for me is to spend time with the people I love the most. So yeah, the one thing is people who are very close to me, they are also busy with their lives on Sundays. So on those particular Sundays, I try to spend time with myself, again, very close to me. Yeah.
Beautiful answer. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Megha. Toastmaster Megha has a fascinating speech title, and it is Colors of Diversity. Colors of Diversity, Toastmaster Megha. Toastmaster Megha, Colors of Diversity. The virtual platform is all yours, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, TMOD. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
All right. So good evening, everyone. Before I start, I want all of you to have a look at my prop. That was a feedback from my previous speech. This I created today in the afternoon. This is just best match with the title of my speech. And before I start with my topic, I want all of you to share your views about this word diversity in the chat box. Please take 15 seconds and share your views. What do you think about this word diversity in the chat box? I would request all of you to share. Give it a try, just one word or one sentence. And till the time you share your views, I'll share why I have chosen to take this topic today. This diversity word was never there in my dictionary till 2019. 2020, when I transitioned from forces to corporate, I heard this term for the first time consciously. When one of my colleagues, he used to address all the females in the organization as diversity candidates. So I thought of reading about this word. And when I read a bit about this word and understood this is such a beautiful word, and that feeling of being called as a diversity candidate was exhilarating. All right. So let us start with the speech. I would request any one of you to please unmute yourself and share your views on this picture. This gentleman is trying to say something in this picture. He's trying to project some question, trying to ask some question to the team of gentlemen sitting over here. Can someone please unmute yourself and share your views? What is the issue?
Can I go ahead, Preeti, this side?
Yes, Preeti, please.
Okay, so this picture shows that everybody is so similar that they have run out of ideas. They are just exact copies of each other, and maybe they are coming up with the same ideas.
Correct. Thanks, Preeti. Preeti was for sharing this interesting take on this picture. Yes,
no
you are very right.
At the table? Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I've got it. Yeah, got it. Ritika, thanks. No females at the table. Everyone is almost similar. That's why this issue is there. I would say, just to again cover my previous feedback, my views, to me, this picture is birds of a picture flock together. Yeah, I'll quickly move further. Diversity is something that is different or unique. The pictures, both the pictures shown over here on the left, bottom left and bottom right, they depict diversity. But not only both these pictures depict diversities. There are certain things which can't be shown in pictures, but then they are part of diversity. Anything that is different, anything that is unique comes under diversity. Diversity incorporates all the elements that make individuals unique from one another. And while there are infinite differences in humans, most of us subconsciously define diversity by a few social categories, such as gender, race, age, and so forth. No two humans are alike. People are different in not only gender, race, social culture, psychological characteristics, but also in their perspectives and thoughts. The United Nations recognizes over 30 characteristics that represent diversity. But in truth, there are many more than that. Some are visible and some are not. Broadly speaking, there are 4 types of diversity: internal, external, organizational, and worldview. Internal diversity refers to any trait or characteristics that a person is born with. These might include sex, race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, nationality, or physical ability. External diversity includes any attribute, experiences, or circumstances that helps to define a person's identity. But it is not something that we are born with. For example, socioeconomic status, education, marital status, religion, appearance, or our locations. Third one is organizational diversity. Differences in job function, work experience, seniority, department, or management level comes under this. Finally, worldview diversity. Anything that influences the way we interpret and view the world is part of worldview diversity. It includes a broad range of beliefs, political affiliation, culture, and travel experience. In 2015, McKinsey published an influential study entitled Why Diversity Matters, the findings of which show strong correlation between diversity and financial performance. Data from this study showed that companies with greater ethnic and racial diversity among staff perform 35% better than companies whose staff demographics match the national average. Furthermore, companies with greater gender diversity perform 15% better than companies with less gender diversity. Women, accounting for an average of just 16% of the members of executive teams in the United States, 12% in the United Kingdom, and 6% in Brazil, remain underrepresented at the top of corporations globally. In India, we have diversity targets ranging from 25% to 28%. Is diversity good or bad? I would say there are certain advantages to have a diverse workforce, and there are certain challenges to it. Obviously, innovation will be there. When you are from a different background, you will think differently. You will have better understanding of client since you have such an exposure. Creativity, when there are diverse work set in terms of gender and ethnic diversity, you will have creativity in the group. Multiple perspectives to complex issues in case you have a multicultural workforce. Individuals bring their individual talents and experiences in a group of similar set of peoples. Again, there are challenges. In a country like India, we have different languages that can act as a barrier. We have different people like me from different professional backgrounds. They have different professional etiquettes. Like in forces, we used to call everyone sirs and ma'ams. In corporate, that is not allowed. Conflicting working styles across different teams because we are coming from different backgrounds. Less integrated diverse groups leads to higher dissatisfaction among the team. Miscommunication leading to absenteeism within the workforce group. But by ensuring clear and polite communications, learning about different cultures, different backgrounds, working towards accommodating cultural differences, sharing knowledge with each other, and increasing awareness about diversity issues different sets of people face can help us kill this. These are few of the references that helped me to read about this very interesting topic, and I'm still continuing to read more about it because it is very interesting topic. In the end, I would say together we are stronger. Let us try to make this Toastmaster environment outside Toastmaster in our workplaces an inclusive work environment and show empathy towards people from diverse backgrounds. Thank you, and over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Megha. She definitely deserves a round of applause. Thank you so much. My personal takeaway will be, I was never aware that as per United Nations, there are 30 different levels of diversification. And in actual practice, there are many more. Thank you so much for that wisdom. Toastmaster Megha needs your feedback because you can see how exhilarating speaker she is. And when you give her a candid feedback, she is going to do amazing. So 30 seconds, and please, in her chat box, in a personal chat box, or you can use the main group as well, go ahead and talk about what were some things that you really liked and what are certain things that she can work. I really like the prop that she is wearing, so nobody can give her the feedback she did not use a prop. Amit, please let me know when 30 seconds are over. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya. Great, great. Toastmaster Amit or the timer, can you please let me know if both Toastmaster Megha and Toastmaster Utkarsh have qualified for voting?
Toastmaster Megha is disqualified due to time.
Okay. Thank you. So now I'll go ahead and I'll hand it over to the general evaluator, that is Toastmaster Arushi, to take it forward. Toastmaster Arushi, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. So since we have a special module today, we will be directly moving on to the evaluation section, and we will start with our first evaluation, which is going to be presented by evaluator of Toastmaster Utkarsh, who is the speaker one for today's meeting, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Azad. So Toastmaster Azad, looking forward to your evaluation for Toastmasters Utkarsh speech. Over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. I mean, wow. Don't judge a book by its cover. I came to know a lot about an auditor and its job and importance today itself. Honestly, the speech was no doubt informative. In spite of being technical, the speaker made it really easy to understand because I have understood it. So kudos to that. The speaker was confident and engaged the audience. He was able to having the right eye contact. Energy was at upper level, so it was good. But to challenge himself to be great at public speaking, the speaker could improve on his vocal variety, hand gestures because he was not, I mean, he was coming back, he was going back and coming forth, back and forth. So there was point he could have just stand and deliver. And then there was some portion where he was counting on different things. He could have counted those things on the fingers or maybe divided like this. So just one gesture was looking flat. So there he could work, and except that the structure was good. But I personally felt the ending could have been better because, as we say, a good start should lead to a best finish. Because what you say in the end, it leaves with the people. So I would conclude by saying that it was very informative speech, delivered confidently, but speaker could improve on vocal variety, hand gesture, and little bit work on structure because, as I said, good start should lead to a good finish. So all the best to the speaker for future speeches. Thanks, and back to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Azad, for that detailed evaluation. Now, I would like to call evaluator to our president of SDTM, Toastmaster Nimit. Over to you to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Megha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arushi. Well, let me ask this question. What is common amongst all these individuals, Thomas Alva Edison, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates? Well, before you answer, I know it is their intelligence. Well, I have not witnessed any of these speakers, but today I witnessed Toastmaster Mega deliver a very intelligent speech, and I must put my take on it. What I love the most about this speech is three aspects. Number one, this speech was a very well-researched speech. Thus, the objectives of the project were met. There was definition of the concept diversity. There were statistics at every point on the concept of diversity. There were facts, there were figures, there was a comparison table as well. The best part was that every statistic, facts, and figures had references in the last slide, and that is what is the best part about the speech. Number two, the speaker very intelligently stated in the start, feedback from her previous speech was incorporated here. She used props, which was again a feedback from her previous speech. She involved the audience through questions and a presentation style, which was again a feedback given to her from her previous speech. This is the style of a great artist and a great speaker. If you can incorporate feedbacks, that is when you actually improve. The third best part about the speech was there was strong content. Picture speaks 1,000 words, and the speaker incorporated great illustrative images in a presentation. She presented herself through a beautifully crafted PPT, and all of these actually lend her speech much more perfection and mission. Now, the speaker definitely could have done a few things to make her speech go from this level to this level, and these are: number one, the speaker could have made the content more relatable. While she definitely had lots of facts and figures, there could have been a little more personal stories. There could have been some more anecdotes, whether she was talking about comparison or whether she was giving the definition. She should have put herself into that picture and into that concept and then given it to the audience on what her take is. She should have personalized her script. And the second most important aspect, which I feel, is that time management. As I hear that the speaker was disqualified, time management is critical to any job, any opportunity. While it was beautifully done job, but since the speaker could not manage time, hence time management is an art which needs to be developed. To summarize, commendation, strong content, well-researched, and feedback incorporation done. Recommendation, content relatable, should be relatable, and second is time management needs to come in. Overall, the objectives of well-researched speech were achieved. To conclude, the speaker very intelligently used a creative bent of mind and intellectual capabilities to educate us all on the concept of diversity. And my call to action to everybody would be that let us all strive to be different. Let us not be the same person in that room. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster
Both
Namit.
the evaluators are qualified.
All right. Can I please ask Toastmaster Namit to launch the poll for evaluator? Would request everybody to put in their votes so that we can move on to our next section of evaluation.
Okay, we need 5 more votes.
Would request all the guests to also participate and vote for the best evaluator. Have we gotten the votes?
Well, we have 3 more votes, but Amit, I think we can end the poll. We have a clear. Yeah. Okay. Move on. We can move on, Arushi.
Thank you. With that, we'll move on to our next section, and I'd like to call my team of evaluators who have been observing all of you and now will be presenting the report. I would like to first call our grammarian for the day, and that would be Toastmaster Pandit. Please, I request you to come on the virtual stage and present your report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. That is the idioms and phrases. Toastmaster of the day, Abu used the word of the day thrice and idiom twice. And the speaker, Megha, she also used the word of the day once and the idiom twice. And the speaker one, Toastmaster Woodkers, quoted, "Don't judge a book by its cover page." And also the evaluator, Toastmaster Azad, he also used the quote, "Don't judge a book by its cover page." And rest of the grammatically, the sentences for grammatically structured. And thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pandi. Now, I would be calling up on stage our next auxiliary role player, which is the R counter. Toastmaster Sandra, could you please come up with your report?
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Toastmaster Arushi. I am back with my report. So, first of all, Toastmaster Arushi, she used R two times. Toastmaster Pandi Grammarian R one time, and she repeated and four times. And Pandi was flawless in the speaker one Utkarsh, he used but one time and many times. Then Toastmaster Megha, she used but four times, different five times, and three times. Toastmaster Azad are two times. Then we have Toastmaster Nimit back two times and are two times and three times. So for improving, I can say that practice a lot. Wherever you are free, whenever you are having a laser time, you get to go and practice the things. That's whether it is your speech or presentation or whatsoever. So please practice before coming to the club or before coming to any meeting. So over to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandra. Now, the last auxiliary role player for today's meeting, which would be our timer. And I'm really looking forward to his report because it's very new, innovative way in which he's been presenting today. So over to you, Toastmaster Aditya.
Just let me start my timing. So I have a question for all the members in the audience, including guests and members. Is time management a controllable aspect?
Yes, without a doubt.
So is it
Yes.
time to reset the phrase time and tide wait for none? It should be the other way around, that we don't wait for time and tide. We control the time and tide, because even if we see the clock ticking, we have it in our hands. So is it time to reset the term time and tide wait for none? Anyone?
Can I say that rather than saying that we are against time or along with time, can we just simply say we adjust with time and tide to make better use of it?
Exactly in that manner. So let's get to the specific timings of the speaker, starting with Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Amit. His time was 1 minute 15 seconds, so he was well within his introduction time. The President Presiding Officer Toastmaster Nimit was 6 minutes 30 seconds, so the Presiding Officer can work on his opening scripts. The TMOD so far has spoken for 4 minutes and 25 seconds, which is under the qualified range. Speaker number 1, Utkarsh, who was brilliant, exhilarating, and showed us that when it comes to time, birds of a feather flock together, was 5 minutes 8 seconds. The second speaker, while beautifully giving the research speech, spoke 90 seconds more for 8 minutes 32 seconds. The joke master Toastmaster Azad spoke for exactly 2 minutes. The two speech evaluators, Toastmaster Azad, spoke for 1 minute 45 seconds, which means he had another 75 seconds, that will still 3 minutes to go deep into the evaluation. How? That you will learn with time, but you had plenty of time, so you could have easily controlled it. So my suggestion, speak till
It's
the green card
19:30.
comes for any speaker so that you can control it later on. Toastmaster Nimit, as always, experience, dot on time, 3 minutes 11 seconds. The grammarian Toastmaster Pandi, probably making his debut in this role. You spoke for 48 seconds, so you are disqualified because I said it's 1 minute 30 seconds for the evaluator. So you had another 45 seconds, so you could have gone deep into your evaluation, which I think the GA will point out. Toastmaster Chandra also missed by 7 seconds. It was 1 minute 23 seconds. And my time so far, I think I have a yellow card. So it's 2 minutes 45 seconds. So that ends and I will be talking about the anchors later on. So overall, a great meeting, exhilarating meeting, and over to the GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. That was rather descriptive, and thank you for the visual presentation and the description that you gave all of us. All right, now it's time for my report. So I really recently came across the word
poll.
Since the two auxiliary
Grammarian
role
and
players are
accountant are
disqualified.
disqualified, Amit. So
as it is a short meeting, so we are not disqualifying the minimum time.
fine. We'll go for voting. It's fine. It's
All right, okay. Then I'll call for the voting. Everybody present in the meeting, we'll be launching a poll for the auxiliary role players. Please put in your vote and make it count. Amit, Aditya, please let me know when I can proceed, when you get maximum votes.
We need 4 more votes.
Would urge all of you to please look at your screen and give your precious vote.
Give you at best 10 more seconds to make sure that we have a exhilarating module.
Right.
I presume, Amit, if no one votes, we can end it. Yeah. Okay. Back to you, Arushi.
Thank you. All right. Like I was saying, I recently came across this phrase, which was very interesting. And it said that your network is your net worth. So with that, I'd just like to say that one of my network is this beautiful South Delhi Toastmaster family, where I come each week and listen to some great speeches, some great table topics. Then we invite guests like Toastmaster Arshin, who enrich us with her knowledge, and which is why this is my net worth as well. So just to call that out, this is why every week I attend the Toastmasters meeting, and I hope that is learning for you today. And with that, I would like to start my evaluation for today's meeting. So donning many hats today was our Sergeant in Arms and Tech Master, who also happens to be our VP Education, Toastmaster Amit. Started the meeting bang on time. He was very persistent that we start the meeting on time, and Toastmaster Abu stops playing the music. So 6:30 bang on, we started the meeting, and he started it with great enthusiasm. And you know what's the best part about Toastmaster Amit? With his consistent presence each week, he gives us goals for personal development and growth. So thank you, Toastmaster Amit, for coming out each week, being present and showing us how we can gain from being consistent and work towards our personal development. So what I really miss, with the SAA address was something which we used to do before, which was have a small 2 minutes activity followed by the SAA address. So that's something I miss, and I'd just like to point that out as a recommendation if we could have it for a future meeting, because one thing it does is like it really energizes all the participants of the meeting. So that would be my small suggestion for the meetings, upcoming meetings. Next, moving forward, we had our very veteran Toastmaster Abu, who played TMOD today and introduced a very nice theme, which was Sunday Shenanigans. I think just reading about the theme, it felt and made me relax so much. So like our president mentioned, that Toastmaster Abu not only brings his charisma to any meeting, but a tornado of energy with him. So now with his theme and how beautifully he crafted the theme, I'm actually looking forward to my Sunday Shenanigans tomorrow. So thank you, Toastmaster Abu, for crafting the theme so beautifully in today's meeting. So moving on to my team of evaluators. First, starting with Toastmaster Azad. So something which is synonymous with Toastmaster Azad, and this has been observed since day one. He came to our meeting as a guest and he attended a few meetings as a guest, something which was, quite something which actually is synonymous with his name is his energy and vocal variety. So which we saw from day one, his enthusiasm. So which of course showed in his evaluation today. So Azad, a couple of tips and tricks for you for your upcoming evaluations. So I remember we had a very important, point that was pointed out by Toastmaster Devi, who had conducted our evaluation module. And she said that, since there are so many points of evaluation, you need to pick the most important for that particular speech today. So what I thought your evaluation lagged was nitpicking those important points from Toastmaster Utkarsh's speech, and then pointing that out in your evaluation. So like, I think you missed out on whether the objective of the speech was met or not. And also I felt that your evaluation lagged a natural structural flow. So if you could also follow the CRC approach, and I know in today's meeting, we had a little less time for you to don your evaluation hat and then, come up with a structured evaluation. But then again, I think this is a good practice for the next, evaluation competition that we come across. So I feel that we could have nitpick the most important things. Like I remember that there was again some audience interaction which he managed to do, and that was not pointed out. And in the beginning, he before he started the speech, he had some anxiety, or he was nervous, which could have also been pointed out. So that's my suggestion to you. And now coming on to our next evaluator, Toastmaster Nimitz. I am super impressed by your evaluation, considering the short amount of time that you were given to prepare for your evaluation. What a beginning and end. You caught the attention of, what you nitpicked exactly, those important factors of the speech, and gave the right amount of doses to the speaker today. You did manage to point out if her speech objective was met or not. Great evaluation. The only thing I think was missed out was, and this is my personal observation, I felt there could have been more voice modulation. I felt that the presentation was said in one monotone. So I think that was missed out on the evaluation, but apart from that, it was flawless. All right. Now coming on to the next set of evaluators, which was the auxiliary role players. So our grammarian, he managed to give a short introduction of his role. And he made a note of the usage of words and idiom of the day. So I felt that for the grammarian's role, which is very important to every meeting, I thought that the role player could have done a little more preparation before the meeting, and come up with some tips and tricks to improve the grammar, and also call out the good usage of words. Like if he had nitpicked what were some of the good words that were used in the meeting, and also explain to the entire group like what the meaning was, or if he could use that in another sentence, it would have been a great learning for everybody present in the meeting. So also I feel like you should have had a better presentation with respect to something visual which you can add going further. I understand it was your first time being a grammarian, but these are some pointers that you can note down and work on if you're playing this role the next time in any other meeting. So that's with respect to the grammarian. Also, yes, please note that you have an allotted time, and if you do not use the entire time, the minimum time you have the role for, you get disqualified. So please ensure that you remain within the time frame, both the lower limit as well as the upper limit. All right, so now moving on to our next auxiliary role pair, which was the R counter. I think Toastmaster Sandra introduced her role pretty well, and she managed to tell us what she would be doing for what role is she playing for today's meeting. And she carefully noted the use of R's and any other filler words that were used through the meeting. And she confidently delivered her report. She also gave us tips and tricks, and she said that the best way to avoid using filler words in R's would be to practice a lot more before you come and speak here in the meeting. So that was a great tip. Thanks for sharing that. I just feel, Sandra, there is a better way of presentation that can be used in the future. And also, I would like to tell you that you can also keep the time assigned to you in mind when you present your report the next time. All right. So what can I say about the timer? Wow, what innovation and learning. The art of showing and keeping time is something that I have learned from you, Toastmaster Aditya, today. And not only was your introduction very descriptive and visually appealing, but it had the smallest attention to detail. So if you all had noticed, when he was presenting his PPT, at whatever time he was supposed to show the cards, on top of, say, 4 minutes 30 seconds, he'd mark the green color, and 5 minutes 30 seconds, he'd mark the yellow, and at 6:30, he'd marked the red. So that's the attention to detail he had given to make sure that everybody, including guests, understand the importance of what he's doing, and made his role very clear to everybody. He started his report by engaging the audience, and he even managed to use the word of the day and idiom of the day in his report. He also gave suggestions, so how to keep better time. I think I have no flaw. It was flawless, and really impressed with your role and presentation today. So that's the end of my report. I would now hand it over to our very versatile and charming Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abu.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Arushi. You have done a fantastic job with a wonderful evaluation. Now we move to the final part of the session, which is introduction of our guest speaker. I wouldn't call her a guest. Let me give her a word as veteran. And before I go ahead and talk about this amazing, beautiful lady, there are 3 things that I would like to personally do in order to reflect, relax, and restart. I would like to go for something that I'm trying for the first time, that is called going to a chiropractor or a physiotherapist to get a nice massage. The second thing that I would like to do is, I've heard so much about this cafes in central Delhi. So I would like to enjoy some amazing yet healthy food. And the third thing that I would love to do is get an amazing, powerful Sunday nap. And these are three of my things, okay? Now, let's go ahead and talk about who is coming today. I'm not going to go ahead and give her introduction. I'm going to share a recommendation which was given to her by Vikram Ghalot. He was the founder at Old School. Now, this is what he has to write about Arsheen, okay? My first interaction with Arsheen was in the classroom where I was playing teacher and she the student. That was about 3 years ago. And since then, there have been more than a few occasions where the roles have been reversed. In the classroom, it was apparent almost immediately that she was an exceptional thinker and communicator, never afraid of speaking her mind, but equally open to others' ideas. Arsheen seems to actually thrive as problem becomes more complex and is an original thinker whose intuitive grasp of problems tells you that there is more to it than just the ability to calculate with the speed and precision. First, I understood that it was because she drew upon a very wide and diverse base of knowledge. But many an interesting discussion and arguments in the classroom led me to see that it was also an ethos of questioning everything and working from first principle that was making the difference. The kind of width and depth that can be seen in her thinking and the near absence of the ego in her search for knowledge is remarkable for someone of her age. What I see behind it is the insatiable curiosity to understand herself and the world, and then a relentless drive to make it a better place. Then she found it. It seems to help that she has some kind of an inexhaustible source of energy powering her and fighting spirit that has not learned to give up yet. This was just 25% of what her teacher has wrote. And my teacher used to write such bad words to me that my parents used to come. I wonder, when will my teacher go ahead and write something? Now, she is a product of I Am Rachi, which stands for honesty, humility, and hard work. These are the 3 H that belongs to Arsheen Chugh. Without further ado, the virtual stage is all yours, Arsheen.
Thank you, Abu. I think you have an inexhaustible source of energy, and I'm honestly stumped by this introduction. And what I'd like to say is that good time stalking me, because I could never have imagined that you would go into my LinkedIn, go into the recommendation section and find out a recommendation that my teacher has given me. So kudos to you on that. And kudos to all the speakers who have taken their time till now. I have learned something from each and every single one of you out here today. And for those of you who want to understand what to expect from the next, say, 30 to 40 minutes, we are just going to talk about how to think on the feet and how to not be confused when you're just about to attempt a table topics. And for guests who don't know what a table topic means, we are going to understand, if you're given a topic on the spot, how to speak on it. This will help you with your job preparation, interview preparation, MBA preparation, coaching, wherever you go. People are going to give you a topic, you have to think about it, and you have to say something on the spot. And that is where this preparation will come into hand. I have a small PPT that I've prepared, but I don't want to rely on it too much. So I will just quickly start sharing it and try to be done with it as soon as possible. Please let me know when it's visible.
It is visible, Arsheen.
Sure, thank you. So why table topics? I heard Arushi won the evaluation speech contest. There's going to be an international speech contest, and then there's going to be a table topics contest. I think table topics contest is by far the easiest, the most low-hanging fruit to win. It's a 1 to 2 minute speech that you have to attempt. It's an on-the-spot topic that you'll be given. And it's something that you can go into the field with a clean slate completely. You can start with a blank canvas, people will splash all sorts of colors on you, and you can make that topic to be whatever you want it to be. So that is why you should be attempting a table topics contest. Now, I made this complex sort of diagram, but I'll try to break it up for you bit by bit. How do you approach a table topic? There can be either of two cases that can happen to you. Suppose a topic is given to you, either lots of thoughts come into your mind because it's very familiar, or another case can be that nothing comes to your mind. That is the case two. So in both cases, what we have to do is take a 10-second pause. And when I say this, do it very mindfully, because the people who are keeping time of you, the timer, if you do a verbal or non-verbal movement, your time will start. So what I suggest is that as soon as you get the topic, take a 10-second pause. And you will not, that 10 seconds will not be counted in the whole of time. Then, in the case that you have lots of thoughts come into your mind, it's pretty easy. You just have to collect all of them at one place and you have to structure them one by one. This is my intro, this is my body, this is my ending. Essentially, what we mean is an intro is what you tell the public about it. This is my speech. This is how my speech is going to look like. Body is you give a little more details about it. And ending, what you essentially have to do in the ending is reiterate, summarize, and collect the thoughts so that you give the audience something to go by. Now, in the case that you don't have anything that comes into your mind, in that case, try to break the topic and explain the topic to the audience. This is a very good fooling mechanism because people never know whether you understood the topic or not. But what you can do is that there are certain keywords that the topic will have. Look at those keywords, talk about the keywords, and break the topic. Try to understand the topic with the audience, and then maybe throw in a few examples, throw in a few past instances related to a past instance, and give your interpretation on it. And in both the cases, at the end with learnings. Because everyone loves a good moral of a story. Everyone loves closure in a story. So at the end, always give a closing, a learning. And then that is how your speech is supposed to be. Open, build up, summarize. Opening, body, closing. What is the purpose of table topics and what is the purpose of any speech for that matter? For me, table topics means that I want people to understand what I represent, what my school of thought is, what flavor do I bring to the table, and what is my way of life, and what do I value in life. And I want people to remember me with one particular image or one particular thought that they have when I leave the stage. And I think that is my hook. So you have to identify what your hook is. Is it that you talk a lot about personal incidents? Is it that you are someone who people look to for advice? Is it that you are a very easygoing, free-flowing person? So you have to do a little bit of introspection in general and try to understand what is your flavor and what is it that you bring to the table and what do you want your 1 to 2 minute speech to summarize. That was all I had with me. So now what we're going to do is that we are going to practice a lot because essentially there is no point in giving gyan here. It's better if we practice with a few examples. Now I'm going to pick up a few topics off the internet, or if we have good volunteers here, then you can give me a topic. I'll try 2 or 3 topics and then I'll give some topics to people in the audience. So does anyone want to volunteer giving me a topic?
Can I give you a topic, Arshin?
Sure.
Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. Arshin Chuk.
Thank you, Abu, for that topic. What I was reminded of was my 2-year journey in Bombay when I was first given my first job posting after college. I stayed in Mumbai. It was a city which was very different from the city I had been staying for 22 years of my life. And my journey in Mumbai was not built in a day, quite literally and metaphorically. It took me quite a lot of time to go through the trials and tribulations to understand the murky weather, the expensive rent, and the sky-high buildings that were reminding me of the space that Delhi had and reminding me of the connections that I had left behind in Delhi. And it was very difficult for me to realize the fact that the next 2 years are going to be here. And at that time, I didn't even know that I'm going to be there for 2 years. It was like, now I'm going to be here for long. And that is when I realized that Rome is not going to be built in a day, and my life here is not going to be built in a day, but Rome is Rome after all. So it means that there is a certain adulation attached with it, and people admire it for a certain reason. So even though I go through the rain, there will be a rainbow at the end. Even if I go through the trials and the tribulations, there will be a rainbow at the end, which makes me realize that I am a refined person. I am a person who learned a lot from a city, and I am a person who built a completely new life out of whatever I was given. So I think Rome is definitely not built in a day, but it's Rome for a reason. Thank you, and over to you.
Wow.
So yeah. So if we can have a little bit of variation, it can either be a quote that can be given to us, like Abu just did, or I can give an incomplete sentence. I was walking on a road and dash. This is a form of table topics that can occur. Another instance can be a one-word or a two-word topic that can be given to you. For example, let's attempt doing a table topic on a color, that is maybe say red. So if I was given a word red in a table topics, how I would attempt it would be that red actually signifies a lot of things. When I first looked at the color red, I was reminded of the Instagram stories that come with the color red encircled. When I went into color theory, I realized that every color has a meaning. Why did people design it in a way that it was red? Because it signified impending danger. But red in India typically represents a kind of woman who goes through a lot of trials in her life to give birth to a child, for example. So one color may mean different things for different people. When red may mean danger for certain people, red may mean strength for another whole group of people. So I think life is also like that. Whatever you get, it is what you make out of it that makes all the difference rather than what you have been given. So this is another example of a topic that can be given. Now we'll reverse the roles and I will be giving topics to people in the audience. So whoever wants to go first, they can volunteer and I will be giving feedback to everyone who speaks.
Can I go first, Arshi?
Yes. So, okay. Okay, so your topic is before you discover, you must explore. Before you discover, you must explore. Toastmaster Abu.
Thank you. Aditya, can you please show me the cards as well, if that's okay? Thank you. Wow, what a topic. Before you discover, you must explore as well. This means multiple things to me. First and foremost, let's understand two important words: discover and explore. It is said, and this is very common when it comes to Indian mythology, that everything that you are trying to discover outside, if you explore yourself, you will find the answer. Which reminds me of a very interesting story. And this story is about gods who started envying human beings because human beings started exploring themselves and they became amazing. The threat came to the gods. So there was a meeting. What can we do so that these humans are not able to explore their talents? There was a brainstorming session. One of the gods said, what if we go ahead and take a dive and submerge it into the ocean, their skill to explore? But then they said, no, this human will find it there. The second idea was, how about going it right at the top of the mountains and keeping it there? But again, this humans will find it there. How about digging the ground and keeping it there? The humans will find it there. So then there came a eureka moment wherein one of the gods said, why don't we just keep that power to explore within themselves? Because this human will search everywhere for that talent, but they will never search for themselves. So my dear audience, are you ready to explore? And if you have to explore, it is within, not outside. Over to you, table topic master.
Great. So let's discuss what were the parts that were brilliant about this. As usual, there's a level of brilliance that comes with Toastmaster Abu. And what are the parts that he can improve on a little bit? He wove a fictional story around the topic, and he went the route where he broke down the topic and tried to understand it along with the audience and try to build upon that topic with a story. A story is what best connects you with the audience, because then everyone is clueless about it. A story is what unites. So I think this was something that he did brilliantly. He had a lot of good content, and I don't think that there was any issue with timing. One thing that we can do, because he's a speaker who's already at a particular level, what he can do to elevate his level is there is a concept called a teaser trailer. When we start with a speech, what we can do is we can give a trailer to the audience. This is actually a sales technique as well, wherein what we do is we try to tell the audience that this is what I'm going to talk about in the next 1.5 to 2 minutes. And this is what my story is going to be about. So what you are doing is, because the audience is most aware during the initial and the final part of the speech. So you're giving them a trailer, and at the end you're summarizing as well, which actually drives the point home. So this is something that you can try with your next speech. Who wants to go next?
I would like to go. Akshay.
Hi Akshay, it's very good to see you. So Akshay is our dear friend from Mumbai. And Akshay, your topic is the purpose of our lives is to be happy. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. Toastmaster Akshay.
Good evening, dear members of the meeting. Just by being here at Toastmasters meeting, happiness comes to me in an easy way. Each one of us might have a different occasion or a different memory that might bring you happiness. But at the end of the day, we all want to be happy. If this is not true for you, then maybe something else. But I would like to share with you all my personal story, why I strive to find happiness each and every day. There was a friend long back. Now I'm not in touch with them, but she used to tell me one thing, that Akshay, you should smile. And in Toastmasters, when I give speeches, many members keep telling me that Akshay, you should smile. And I'm unable to do that. I'm trying to practice this, and every time an opportunity comes, I try to do the same. These statements that Akshay, you should smile, I always used to feel, why would I smile when I'm sharing some thoughts? I'm not happy by sharing. But later I realized that when you are sharing with the world your thoughts and your opinions, you should be happy because you are sharing with them the experiences which you think is something worth sharing. Every time when I'm on the spotlight, I feel exhilarated that I can not only share what I have experienced, but also from all of your expressions, experience whether you can relate or not. And thus, each and every time in Toastmasters, I spend a lot of time nowadays in Toastmasters. So my purpose to find happiness at the end of the day is how many times in a day I have taken the opportunity to share my thoughts, how many times I've taken the moment to convey the messages which I have experienced, and in turn learn something from each one of you. So the next time when you all get an opportunity, which might be just after my speech, take upon the opportunity, speak, convey your thoughts, because if you are a Toastmaster, speaking on spotlight will definitely help you find some happiness, and in turn will at the end of the day make you feel happy, elated, and blessed. I'm thankful for this opportunity, and back to you, Ashin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. So let's discuss the things that I liked about his speech. Obviously, he's a seasoned Toastmaster, so the fact that I'm impressed by is that he has a very conversational style, unlike speakers like me who sometimes become a little didactic and it looks like we can't relate to the people. He has a very conversational and down to earth style where he can connect to the audience very well. And he has a very calm and composed tone, and the words and pauses that he uses are very well calculated. So there are not a lot of ahs and ums, and there's not a lot of breaks in his speech, which I loved about it. The one small thing that he can improve is that there are a lot of guests a lot of times in the audience, and his speech was essentially about how speaking in Toastmaster gives him happiness. So people who are not Toastmasters and are listening to your speech for the first time, it might get a little difficult for them to relate to the fact that what is Toastmasters, what is the platform all about. So to make it more relatable to everyone, you could have added other aspects of your life that make you happy. You could also have taken a turn and maybe try to understand whether is happiness something that we should strive for at the end of the day. I don't think everyone wants to be happy, because happiness is a very black and white emotion. So you could have broken down that concept, and you could have said that maybe I think happiness is something that I strive by. It might not be the same for you. So this is something that you could have gone for, and this is just something that you can do to elevate your level as a speaker. You're already at a very accomplished level, so I think this is something that can add that extra zing or spark to your speech. So let's have the next volunteer.
I'd like to volunteer.
Who is it? Anahita.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay. So Anahita, your topic for today is, sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Anahita.
I did it. I did it. I won the best student award. Can you believe it? All of that hard work has paid off. Oh, okay. All right. Fine. I won the best student award in college, and now it's time for me to go on and now focus on my placements and get the best package. I'm going to get the best compensation package out there. Okay, fine. I'm going to go and start practicing aptitude tests, everything. Yeah, that's it. Oh, wow. Look at that. I got the best job. I got a 17 lakhs worth of compensation package. Wow. Okay, fine. Now it's time to work for a year, and then I'm going to start preparing for entrance tests. I need GMAT books. I need to write the CAT. Oh my God, this is never ending. That is how life is often for most of us. The sad reality is that life is just a cycle of a lot of things. Things keep coming up one after the other, and we never have the time to just sit back and relax and enjoy and savor the moment. That is something that I feel most often, and it happens with me very, very often. It's happening with me this very moment. I really believe that the true beauty of life is to enjoy every single moment, but it is easier said than done. And that's why I try to take as many measures as possible. I try to keep my phone aside. I try to just meditate in the morning, even just for 5 minutes. I try to keep a gratitude journal. I try my level best. And I'm sure all of us here also do our level best to truly live in the moment. But alas, life is tough. There is only so much we can do. So it is truly a struggle. But we have to take each day as it comes. And I'm sure we will get there one day. We will get there to that moment when we will be able to appreciate every single millisecond, every single second. Because life, my friends, is so much more than your GMAT exam, than that salary raise, than that promotion. Life is about every single tear, feeling every single happiness, joy, everything. That's what life's all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Anahita. I was personally very pumped up with your beginning. Your opening was very enthusiastic, and you had a certain dramatic element to your speech, which generally is lacking, and it only comes with people who speak a lot either, or they've seen people and they have practiced a certain way. So I was impressed by that, honestly. And for a few moments, I was just looking at you in awe. And that is after which I realized that now I need to listen to her speech. So the things that you can improve in your speech going forward is the fact that I don't know if I missed it or not, but you could have mentioned the topic once, and you could have somehow established a connection between what you were speaking and what was it that the topic was about. And what I thought was that you got so blown away, maybe, or overwhelmed by was the content of what you had in mind. And you lost sight from what the topic was actually. So while still staying on the ground and thinking about the content that you have in mind, you can establish a connection and maybe at the end summarize that this is the point of view or the interpretation I had of the topic, so that everyone knows that you stayed on the topic and you said what had to be said, and the judges rate you on that particular topic. Otherwise, all in all, I think a lot of us would be impressed by the kind of voice intonations and the expressions that you had. So kudos to that. Who is the next volunteer?
Arushi Kapoor.
Okay. Hi, Arushi.
Hey, Arshin.
Okay. So your topic is blue. Blue, Arushi.
Blue. So thank you for the topic, Arshin. The beauty of colors. So I have been fortunate enough to read about an business analogy considering colors. So I was reading this very interesting business case study about Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Coca-Cola with red color tag and Pepsi with a blue color tag. There was an interesting study and a research was done wherein a set of people were called. The first set was the first round was people. They had a label of Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and they drank, and their brain activity was monitored. So whenever a person drank Coca-Cola, they had a red signal in their brain. In round two, the labels were removed, and there was no brain activity whatsoever in the second round. Third round, the labels were exchanged on the bottles, and what was observed was even though people were drinking Pepsi, but it said Coca-Cola, they still had that red trigger in their brain. Now that is the power of color, and that's the power of the red color. But my topic is blue. And what I think when I think of blue is the Monday morning blues. And that is something which each and every one of us can relate to, whether you're a working professional or you're a student or a housewife, a homemaker, or just a retired elderly person. Monday brings with it a new week to start and new challenges and struggles which it brings with itself. So yeah, from red to blue, that's what colors mean to me. Thanks, and over to you, Arshin.
Thank you, Arushi. So I would like to divide your evaluation into two parts. When I was listening to your general evaluation as well as now, one common theme that I observed was your voice has a very soothing and calming effect on the listener. Your voice can transport people into a different zone altogether. And it is very relatable and conversational again. So you are not again one of those people who talk to the or talk at the audience. You talk to the audience and you try to establish a connect with them. So that is something that I liked about your speech. It was very strong in terms of content, voice intonations, and hand gestures. So you were a complete package of everything. One thing that I found a little missing in your speech was I personally could not understand the transition between going from the experiment to going to Monday blues. Maybe I missed something in between, but the transition was not that smooth. So I think if you would have made it smoother, that would have been a perfect cherry on the cake. Otherwise, everything was as in place as it should be. Yes. Okay, we can have our next volunteer now. Jatin.
Hello, Aishi.
Hi, Jatin. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So your topic is live your best and act your best and think your best each day, for there may be no tomorrows. Live your best and act your best and think your best each day, for there may be no tomorrows. Jatin.
Okay. Okay. How many of you know that how much you're gonna live, like after this year or even after this day? Can anyone answer? Like, who have complete assurance how much we're gonna live? No. So, and we all have certain plans. Like by 40, I'll retire. After 40, I'll do this, that, and so many things. Like we all have already planned our marriages, love life, financial life, and everything. But do you really know what is that one thing which is not sure? Because that is time, and which is inconsistent, especially in that particular time where life expectancy is not that great. Because we have seen so many great people, like one of the late actors, Siddharth, I guess Siddharth Shukla, when he's gone. And I had a comparison like with that kind of particular persona. Like he was a great man with good physique, great health, and there is no expectancy. Like you can't expect from your life how much am I gonna live. So that's at that particular time I decided, Jatin, why are you delaying like about your dreams, about your to-do list and other things? Why don't you just do them right now? You don't know how much time you have left and what you will do. So that's one thing. Do your best, live your life, and I guess that's it from my side.
Thank you, Jatin. I think you picked up a very relevant recent example that everyone could relate to. All of us know about the sudden demise of Siddharth Shukla, and I think that made your speech very relatable and it hit the point home. So that was something that was good about your speech. I think I'm guessing that you could have filled a little better on the time, because there's a time of 1 to 2 minutes that is allotted to you, and you can speak till 2.5 minutes. So there were a lot of things that you could have talked about. But then again, I think that it is one of your initial few attempts, and you did a brilliant job at it. The next time you want to attempt something like this, you can first think of 2, 3 relevant examples, take up the 10 seconds that are given to you in the beginning, organize your thoughts, and then attempt the topic rather than finishing the speech early. That will help you next time. So we can have the next volunteer now.
Yeah, Arshin, I would like to go.
Amit.
Okay. Hi, Amit. So your topic is difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Amit.
Yeah, thank you, Arshin, for this wonderful topic. Means that is a very relative topic, I think, because the challenges that we have in our life, that helps us to become better every day. So we can say that difficult roads leads to a wonderful opportunity, wonderful destination. So I believe in my life, if I can say that the earlier when I joined organization at that time, in my organization, I thought that like this job is not my cup of tea, because I had not experience in my field. But that was a challenge for me to learn the thing, because that was my passionate subject in the area where I was working. So working hard, working for longer time was not challenge for me, but sometimes that seems me like bring a discomfort in my life, or that was means really hard to digest the things, like when we are working with the people who are means less age than you and doing wonder in your life, and you are a little aged person. But eventually what I learned that difficult things, the more challenging part that I faced, helped me to become a better, and eventually I achieved my goal. I did a little better what I was expect with my qualification. So I believe that gave me a lot of learning. The challenges that the more challenges in your life, that help you become better every day, and that helps you to learn think a lot in your life. So that's my take. Thank you, Arshin.
Thank you, Amit. Again, a conversational style which could be relatable with people. You were again talking to the audience and you were sharing a very honest, heartfelt interpretation of the topic. And what you shared, I think, is a lot of other people's experiences as well, that when they professionally join an organization, it is not as they picture it out in their mind to be. It takes a lot of time to pan out in a certain way. So I think the content was very relatable. One thing that you could have done was that you could have again given a trailer in the beginning of what you are talking about, a 10-second trailer maybe. And at the end, you could have summarized that even though this is what happened with me, I think that I learned a lot from it. And maybe this is what I will take forward as a learning. So a summary was missing at the end and an opening line at the beginning. Otherwise, the content was bang on, and your conversational style again is something that is very relatable to people. So thank you for that. I think we have one person raising their hand. Uh,
Vikas.
Yeah.
Vikas. Okay. Hi, Vikas. Your topic is introvert. Introvert, Vikas.
Introvert. How lucky I am to get a topic of my choice, which I have been living, so I could easily relate to myself already. And I can give you a lot of examples. And there have been a lot of advantages and some disadvantages as well. The advantages, I can say introverts have so many thoughts. I can say they can come up with logics, ideas at any time. And that's why they are very good at impromptu speeches. But whenever it's about prepared speeches or about socializing with people, they are so much afraid that they would just run away, but they would not try to socialize. So that's where introverts are at a disadvantage. And after realizing all that, I felt I should not be at a disadvantage when moving ahead in life. And that was the reason for me to join Toastmasters. And my first icebreaker speech, when I had to prepare for that, I was scared to death. Like I could not even sleep. I was awake all night. Even when I tried to sleep, I could not. It was just going like that. And even when the session was going on, I kept practicing so many times. And finally, the moment arrived and I just went with the flow and it went good. So that was a great one. After that, our club president asked me, would you like to do TMOD? I was like, come on, I just gave my icebreaker speech. You are asking me a TMOD role, that too from an introvert. The good thing was he did not know I am an introvert. So I said yes, and it went again the same way. I could not sleep all night because I'm afraid of failure. So I just kept practicing. And the good thing was I won the best role player of the day. And the recent thing which I tried to experiment even more, I was lagging behind because I could not do many speeches. So what I did was just to challenge myself, I delivered 5 speeches in last 2 weeks. And this week, because there are some contests, so I could not do more speeches. So I feel introverts are at the disadvantage of socializing, but then if you put some goals or challenges to them, they are very good at that. And that's what you can clearly see in my previous experience. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vikas. Let's talk about things that we liked about your speech, and we'll do it a little quick. We have 5 minutes, so can we stretch it by another 5 minutes? Can we take 10 more minutes? Am I allowed that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sure. So I'll keep it short. What I loved about your speech was, even though you're an introvert, I could not get the sense because you have taken opportunities in your life and you have excelled at those opportunities. So your speech was in fact very interesting to understand what goes on in the brain of an introvert who feels that even after taking opportunities in life, they are someone who is perceived as being trying too hard or making too much efforts. So I think your speech was bang on in terms of content, and you were never falling short of content. The only thing that you need to do is a little bit of structuring. Open it and close it at the right time, because I think if we could have used the timer cards, you would have been either just beyond time or just very close to the closing time. So you could have done a little better on time. We'll take 2 more people, Raghavan and Varsha. Raghavan, your topic is when life gives you lemons, dash. When life gives you lemons, dash. Toastmaster Raghavan.
Okay, am I audible? So when life gives you lemons, just squeeze it, make a good juice of it, and have it for yourself. That is what I'd say, because you are filled up with lots of salt. You have lots of sugar also in your life. So you need to know when to add salt and when to add sugars to your juice, because life is indeed a juice, a cup of juice, if you have to say. And I've seen many people in my life who have added the right amount of salt and sugar into their lemon juice, and they've had a wonderful life ahead. So basically what I'm trying to say is, do not take life for granted. When life gives you, if life gives you lots of tests, just go ahead, try defending yourself, try going with the flow of life. And what I would suggest is, like, it gives you lots of sore memories, and it also gives you lots of sweet memories as well. So do not be driven away by the memories that come up, or the instances that happened in the past, to decide your future, because you live in the moment, and being in the moment is the right thing to do. So when life gives you a lemon, just squeeze it, make a good juice of it, and just have a good sip of it, so that uh, you experience every bit of the sour and saltiness and the sweetness. Thank you, Toastmaster Arushin. Over to you.
Thank you for that speech, Toastmaster Raghavan. I think let's talk about the things that I liked about your speech. You had a very good interpretation, a twist to your topic. I never thought that you could take it the way that you should add humor to your life and you should have a certain sense of humor in life so that you can live it with all its trials and tribulations. So I think that was a very good interpretation. One thing that you could have done is, and I think this is a common feedback for everyone who has spoken till now, no one is utilizing the 10 seconds at the beginning. No one is staying quiet and thinking about how you will structure your speech and deliver it. You're just jumping on the bandwagon because you're too excited to attempt the topic. So just think about what you want to say so that there are lesser ahs and ums, there are lesser mistakes that you do during the speech, and you're able to conclude it well at the end. This is a common feedback for everyone. And we have Varsha, who is the last speaker for today.
Yeah, hi.
Varsha, your topic is, to succeed in life, you need three things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. To succeed in life, you need three things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone.
Hi, everybody. This is my second time trying to talk here on the table topic session. I would like to sort of relate the whole concept of even me attempting to talk with the topic. To succeed in life, you have to have a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. So I have always been scared of talking in front of people. It's been inculcated in me for like lots and lots of years, and I have had instances where I could not deliver what I wanted to. We are not as good as we think in our head. When we try to actually reveal it to the world, it's actually harder because there's little practice. But I've always wished to be a better speaker because I just like speaking. I like thoughts, I like ideas. I really like listening to people who have, I just admire the art of speaking. So I have always wished to improve in this certain area. Now comes the backbone, which I am trying, I think I'm trying to manifest right now because I'm very scared. But at the same time, I understand because I think I'm 25 years old, so I have like certain amount of wisdom, like experiencing life already. You need to go through that. Like, there is a moment if you start doing something, you're gonna be bad at it. You're gonna just suck at it, and that's how it is, right? It's perseverance, it's determination. It's so scary, but if I understand that if I don't get over it, I will never like move on, never be better. So there are lots of things that I've improved upon in the last 2 years. And I understand that if I didn't have a backbone, it would not be so easy to move forward. And the last is the funny bone. This is, I think, the most essential in life, because as Raghavan said, like life, when life gives you lemon, you have to squeeze it. There's sweet, there's sour, there's salty. But the point is, we can be too much in our head. We can be too much serious about ourselves, thinking that why is life doing this to me? Why am I being treated this way? Why am I not in the place where I want to be? But when you look at it, a lot of people say it's a big cosmic joke. Everything is very funny. In the end, a lot of people believe in nihilism because they believe nothing else matters. Nothing really matters. A lot of people believe in optimism. A lot of people believe in ideologies like Marxism. But the point is, do any of those work? Because all of us suffer and all of us in the end die. So like no ideology really like helps us survive, helps us like feel happy in all the moments in our life. So I think having a funny bone and looking at your life in hindsight and thinking, well, it was not a good experience, but I'm glad I went through it. It's fine. It's just fine. Nothing is too serious in life, to be honest. So I would like to conclude. I really like this topic. It's very relevant right now in my life and in this moment. So thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Varsha. I, for one, did believe the fact that you said you were scared of delivering the speech, because I think it was one of the best content I've heard in a long, long time. It was very well structured. You touched all the three topics: the funny bone, the wishbone, and the backbone. Most people, what they do is, the mistake is they forget either one or all of the parts of the table topic. I think you were scribbling, which is very good. You were making notes when people were speaking. So I think you listened to everyone, took your time, and then delivered this masterpiece. So I think content-wise, it was very strong. As you get accustomed to the format of the speech, you will get to know that you will be allotted a time frame of 1 to 2 minutes, and the red card will be shown at 2.5 minutes. So that is just something that will limit you, where you have to make your thoughts a little more concise, and you have to summarize. And then also, your speech was very good in terms of content, but then what is that one thing that you want everyone to take away at the end of the speech is the summary that you have to give at the end. So I think that is something that you could have perfected a little bit, but other than that, it was great. So general tips to everyone. Again, I saw no one utilizing the 10 seconds that can be utilized at the beginning. Please utilize it. It is a blessing in disguise. The time, you can fool the timer very easily into believing that you didn't even understand or hear the topic. And take that 10 seconds and make a very banger speech. You have a opening, you have a body, you have a closing. And that is how you will make a speech which is concise. And this is with general life as well. What I used to do earlier was I was very enthusiastic about answering. I'm now enthusiastic about listening, collecting my thoughts, and then responding to it in a way that best presents my thoughts rather than makes a point. Because I want people to go away with a particular interpretation and want them to understand what is the values that I stand by. So when you will realize why you are doing table topics and what is your purpose for a particular speech, you will become concise, you will become more calculated with your thoughts, and then you will deliver it in time as well. So I think with that, I'll conclude my part and hand it over back to Toastmaster.
Wow, Toastmaster Arshit, that was so awesome. We will have our president, Toastmaster Nimit Pradhan, to take it forward from here. Toastmaster Nimit Pradhan, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. Well, firstly, let me thank you, Toastmaster Arshin. That was one of the best, sessions we've had so far. And I'm very confident that now my team, SDTM Club, will be very motivated and is well equipped to handle the contest next week. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you keep coming to our club. Now, this message is for all the members of this club. Next week is when we are hosting our contest. I really hope, and I want everybody on this meeting right now that you participate for next week. Give your names. If you think you are not good enough, you still give your name. And if you think you are good, then that is the best reason you have to participate. So please put in your names. All the new members, all the old members, all the experienced members, you have to give in your names and participate. All the guests who are still on this meeting, well, I hope you really like today's meeting. And just to let you know, this is how our club works. We believe in learning and learning. So, be it our own members, be it members from outside the club, we keep inviting them. We keep hosting sessions where we provide you valuable insights, valuable lessons, valuable teachings into the concepts of public speaking, leadership, and other aspects to do with your life as well, not just restricted to a particular domain. So any guest who has any questions, please feel free to get in touch with our VP membership Toastmaster Arushi, or you can get in touch with me or anybody from the club. In the interest of time, I will probably wrap it up. We do have winners. We do have winners from today's meeting, and I'll say the names real quick. The certificates are yet to be generated, but we'll give it out later. Best speaker. I know all of us know the answer, but still, best speaker award goes to the person who is having his camera turned off, Utkarsh. It was actually a marvelous speech, Utkarsh, and I think your content and your script was one of the most intelligent and beautifully crafted ones. So great job. And since this was your first speech, I mean, hats off and kudos. So please, keep delivering performances like these and be a regular part of the club. Best auxiliary role player goes to our veteran Toastmaster Aditya, who did his job in a very unique way and in a very detailed manner. Having a presentation to display the intricacies of the role is something that is worth a mention. Best anchor award goes to somebody who's frowning and staring at me. Toastmaster Abu, great job as always. And his best speech evaluator award goes to the man who's speaking right now, Toastmaster Nimit. Thank you so much, guys, for voting. All right, so that's pretty much it. Next week is the contest. We will share with you more details on that. I really look forward to having each one of you. Toastmaster Arshin, once again, thank you. And I hope you come and attend one of our meetings again. All the guests, please make sure you again attend more of our meetings. And like I said, any queries, feel free to connect. I wish you all the very best, guys.